It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Steve.
In the list of things that we talk about most on this podcast, Bobcat's probably in the top 5.
Yeah, I think we've missed an opportunity. Have we updated our tags in a while? Because we need to add Bobcat. I don't know if we have garage doors on there, or make sure bourbon is on there.
Bourbon, yeah, we talk about bourbon quite well. You talk about bourbon ad nauseum. I sigh.
And Kyle.
I think I have this, and it typically happens where if I have anything to drink, but that next morning, I feel like I sound really good.
So would you have what?
A couple of soda pops. Sorry, Bobcat. What up? Bobcat was making a joke.
Live on tape from APS 3 point whatever, it's the Steve and Kyle podcast.
The incomparable Melissa Vaughn. Now, this is the point where we already go off topic and start wondering, I wonder if, and then some.
Yeah, honestly, those are going to be the next 3 words out of my mouth.
I know, because I saw you do the thing where you kind of look up, you furrow your brow a bit, and you go, I wonder.
But I think we've talked about this briefly.
Of course we have.
But did we talk about, maybe I could shoot her a message and see if she'd be on Cure for the Cure? I mean, granted, we got to deal with, time change across the pond.
Yeah.
But
I think she'd stay up for it.
I just want to ask.
Get up early for it?
I want to, is it 12 forward or 9 forward?
No, it's like 6. There's 6 ahead.
That was close.
So she'd stay up a little bit. Maybe a little bit late.
So we just
maybe not even.
Yeah,
I mean, if we do this at if we do it at 11 a.m.
Yeah, we'll have her on early.
It's 5 p.m. That's like tea and crumpet time in jolly old England.
The problem is, just to communicate with her, do I have to make another order?
Do you have to? Maybe she's reachable other ways.
Somewhere.
I'm sure that she has a website out there.
I mean, I legitimately would have just a ton of questions for her about that.
Do you?
Side gig that she does, because she's a female.
Is it a side gig? That might be.
That's a good point.
That could be her.
But being a female,
that may not be her side hustle.
Right.
That could be her full-time hustle.
There has to have been at least a handful of orders that she's received that are just like dirty talk requests.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
There are creeps. There are creeps out there.
They saw a picture of her, and I'm not saying being infatuated with her, but a woman with a unique, not even a unique voice, but just a different voice than what whoever would be used to. Probably, hey, can you say this stuff in a low, sultry voice? Why haven't we gotten those requests yet?
Because neither of us particularly have good voices.
Have you thought about on the voice work website that you're a part of, like adding a few tags or descriptors, like
just like sexy?
We'll do your sexy work.
Need sex,
and then just a picture of your smiling face next to it. Hey.
I haven't. Maybe that's why I haven't been getting any of the jobs. I mean,
well, listen,
I thought for sure I had that one with where you helped me out, where you were royal,
and I think I know what the problem is with that.
What's that?
I definitely overshadowed.
Yeah.
What you were trying to do.
Yeah, you did. And you know something? I'm man enough to admit that. I know that I wasn't the star of the show. I know that I was supposed to be the star of the show.
Right.
But you stole it. And that's okay.
No, that's my fault. I apologize. That wasn't my job for the taking, Steve. Okay?
Right.
What I can only compare it to is The Dark Knight. Everybody, it's a Batman movie.
Right.
Batman, his logo is the movie. What was everybody talking about with that movie, though?
The Dark Knight.
Heath Ledger's...
I'm going to take your word on it. I didn't see it.
Oh, you saw this. Heath Ledger's The Joker?
No, I didn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big movie you missed.
Yeah.
I figured that would be in your purview because, he passed away, so it was very talked about.
Yeah.
He won an Academy Award.
I know we've talked about this before, but I do think we should set it in stone where on a weekly basis, because you have a ton of DVDs.
Right.
You probably have like all the Marvel stuff.
I started to move away from it. I used to So when I was a teenager, listen, it wasn't, Kyle out, hitting on chicks when he was a teenager.
As we've talked
right?
about, you're driving around in your Cavalier
with the bra.
With the bra on the front.
And subwoofers in the trunk.
Subwoofers and the Altezza taillights.
What a good-looking
Dreaming of the day that you could possibly own a Plymouth Prowler.
What a good-looking car that was, even in hindsight. Can you want to help me rebuild one?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's
yes.
a 1999.
100% yes.
And it's an incredibly common car, so I feel like it's probably not difficult to find.
Already reserving Second Chance Cavaliers on Instagram.
Already taken? How does that happen?
It's some guy that looks just like you, just wrenching away.
So every Tuesday, which used to be release day for movies and music and whatever, a friend and I would go to Best Buy and buy something. Mm-hmm. And it was usually always a DVD. But I started to get away from that in terms of buying the physical stuff, just because, one, space, and two, it's a huge waste of money. I watched like a Blu-ray I bought last year. Or I didn't buy last year. I opened it last year that I had bought 5 years prior. It was still in its packaging.
All right. So I think we've mentioned this briefly before, but maybe you should have a DVD of the week or something that you bring to me, or a movie of the week. I have to watch it.
Sure.
We're probably not going to do a review every week,
right.
but maybe I'll spit some knowledge on it. I'll say, hey, that one was good. And then, because I don't know the hierarchy of these movies, I don't know which ones were good, which ones were not good, which ones were, total clunkers.
Sure.
So I think it would probably be interesting for you to hear what my opinion of it is.
Right.
Like, I could be like, that was the greatest movie I've ever seen, action-packed, nonstop, start to finish, and you're going to say, that's the one that was hated the most of every movie
This
ever.
was like the lowest reviewed one I've offered you. I think it's important to not set a timetable. Again, we don't want it to become a job, so maybe I bring it to you. Well, you don't have a duration of when you have to watch it.
But I mean, if you bring me one movie a week, you figure your average Hollywood blockbuster, 2 hours.
Sure.
I can knock that out while Evelyn's taking a nap one day during the week.
So you're just waiting for Annette to come home, see you on the couch with popcorn. And she's like, what are you doing? You're like, watching Hunt for Red October.
Watching Batman.
Or Under Siege with Steven Seagal.
Right. But I honestly, I think it needs to be in the genre of the superhero movies.
Okay.
Because I haven't seen any of them. I mean, I've seen a couple. I've seen like the first 2 Iron Mans, I think. But I mean, even those were 15 years old at this point.
Yeah, well, Iron Man was 2008, I believe. So and that was like the kickoff to the majority of what Marvel did.
Maybe bring them to me in the order that I should watch them too.
Sure,
because I don't want to be all out of order, wondering who's the guy with the weirdo mask.
Right. Hey, now, are you a Disney subscriber? Okay.
No, we did. I think.
Probably did a free trial.
Yeah, I think we had a free trial with like when we bought our phones or something through the.
So I was gonna say, boy, that'd be a lot easier. They have everything. They have they have every Marvel movie on there.
You gotta log in.
See what I can do for you.
All right. I mean, is there a way that I could acquire a login for that?
Sure. I will send you the sign up website. That's right.
Just like I sent you the sign up website for Hulu.
No question.
By the way,
thank you for that.
Quick question: did you sign into a new device maybe in the last week or so?
No.
Okay. No. Hypothetically, just asking this question.
No, yeah.
I want to know if you possibly had a new device that you were using.
We like to talk new phones.
Exactly.
On this podcast. Mm-hmm. I'm putting that on the poll. Is it surprising that Steve hasn't seen The Dark Knight? Because I think that's a bit of a surprise. One. Yeah, and that's a big movie.
Yeah, I'll get a ton of. What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't like that reaction particular to any. I mean, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. What I said was a pretty cut and dry thing. Like, it's like you saying, "I've never eaten mushrooms."
Right.
I can't. There's not really a follow up to get more information. It's not like I can say, what do you mean?
Well,
how?
What?
What? I mean, you can say, oh, okay, so you don't like mushrooms, you don't like the taste of them.
Sure.
But like the indignant follow up of, what do you mean?
I got that.
It's impossible.
I got that very recently when I told people or somebody about my dislike of the Beatles.
Well, that makes sense. How do you not like the Beatles?
And that's exactly the response it is, right?
Yeah.
But I have this conversation a lot because I hate onions. So people are like, well, why don't you? I'm sorry. Do you like mayonnaise? I do. You don't. Mm-hmm. I'm not
different strokes,
giving
man.
you this
different strokes.
Guffawing response.
Sidebar with onions, is it the?
It's the taste.
Is it the? Okay, so it's 100% taste.
Hate it.
Because with me, I like the taste of onion. I think that onion can really accentuate something, but I don't like the long stringiness of biting into an onion ring, and that.
If you get one,
oh my god, that onion and
out.
it slides out. That nothing can disgust me more. Yeah. But later on tonight, I'm planning on making some ground beef. I will mince up an onion, but I mean mince it tiny.
And I'll have it in. It's typically in chili. It's in a lot of stuff.
Exactly,
minced and tiny.
Yep.
And I don't think it counts that I can eat onions if the only type of onions I like are like the haystack onions, right. The French fried onions, or right. Onion rings.
Yeah, it's not really onions, but yeah, interesting on the onions though.
It's the same. Though the weird guffawed response of "I can't believe you," you're like.
It's one thing to say, "Wow, that's surprising." Yeah, I know it's surprising. I've never seen any of the Star Wars movies.
Sure,
but
yeah. It's
but your stupid curled up face and it's not going to make me say, "Oh boy, I need to watch these."
I'm also here to tell you that that's far and away the most overrated franchise in cinema history.
I've kind of gotten that, and I've had a lot of people say to me, "Don't go and watch them now because they're so dated."
Which means they're not that good,
right? Yeah, it's nostalgia. Like that's me saying Home Alone is the greatest movie of all time because I liked it when I was 10 years old.
And I love Home Alone.
Sure,
I'll still watch it.
Home Alone's a fine movie.
Right.
But I don't think it won any awards.
Right.
Probably for good reason.
Right. I mean, it made a lot of money because it was a fan favorite. It was a feel-good movie at the end about
it's a Christmas movie.
Exactly.
It's hard to go wrong.
And, yeah, I find it comical. And that's so, Star Wars, Beatles, who else? Batman.
So with the Beatles... do you just not like that?
I think it's garbage music.
So you don't like is there any music from that era from 60s, 70s that you do like?
No, and that's a valid argument because not really. Okay. I'm not sitting here playing Elvis.
Right.
Off Apple Music. I'm not playing his greatest hits.
Yeah.
I think that generation of music just missed me, essentially.
So the classic rock generation.
See, when I think classic rock, too, I'm thinking genre. 70s and 80s. And I know that's not deadly accurate.
Yeah, because most people would say 60s, 70s.
What was
into the 80s?
Buddy Holly was he's 50s?
I think so.
And Elvis was 60s into early 70s?
No, I thought Elvis was more 50s into 60s.
Was he? Because he died in mid 70s.
Sure, but at that point
we lost him though, right?
Let's see. Fact check here. Yeah, Elvis has passed.
Oh, our condolences.
I mean, that's what they want you to think.
Sorry to Elvis and his family. Can't be said enough. There's something like, listen, you've worked in the music industry forever. Obviously, you guys are playing the hits and bits every day.
Stacks and stacks of hot wax. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Does going to Graceland, is that something that appeals to you?
No. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, I guess. Because, when I went to the Country Music Hall of Fame, and they had Elvis's Cadillac there, and that was cool. But yeah, I wasn't. I'm not an Elvis guy at all.
Sure.
I think the whole story of Elvis is really interesting.
For me, I guess it's a nice little segue for me though, because it seems like you're 40.
Well,
happy birthday to you, Steve.
Oh, thank you. Can't be said enough.
A couple of days ago.
Hey, by the way, do you know Donnie?
Steve.
He went to the same high school as you.
Oh, God. Don't tell me is this happening now? You're now...
So are you... Because his sister
What year did Donnie graduate, Steve?
1977?
Oh, Steve/grandma /mom. No, Steve,
but
I
Donnie's
wasn't born then.
sister, Teresa, had a daughter.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Named Dolores.
No, Steve, mom, grandma. I wasn't alive then.
She knows somebody.
Oh, boy.
That once worked with your wife.
Oh, Steve, mom, grandma. Thank you.
Do you know how she is? Do you know how well she's doing?
No, I hope she's okay.
She's doing great.
Oh, good.
She just moved to Tulsa.
Oh, Steve, mom, grandma, I'm begging you to listen to me for one moment. I wasn't alive then.
Well, you don't have to be rude about it. I'm just trying to.
Boy, 40 hits you hard. Really turns you into
brick wall.
Really turns you into what we all hate.
Was that Steve Mom Grandma?
Steve Mom Grandma. Yeah, that's a good new character here. One thing I can say about the Steve and Kyle podcast is over the years we've really universe built. Much like the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
We've got little Tommyetto in the corner eating hard-boiled eggs.
By the way, I had right before you got here, I was finishing my little Tommyetto breakfast as you pulled in the driveway.
And that, again, is an apple and a hard-boiled egg. Which is obviously...
With a little bit of salt.
A little bit of salt, which is obviously what Tommyetto ate at the lunch table by himself.
But since I'm in my 40s now, well, some would say in my 40s, I still maintain my late 30s.
Yep. Well, the
Himalayan pink salt, by the way, not just regular salt.
So you didn't just buy the name brand?
No.
Container,
no Morton's for me.
White salt, no, huh?
No, had to go the
Himalayan pink.
Had to go the healthy route.
Now, is this kind of like where they have the Fiji water, where it's like, we stole this water from Fijiites,
Fijian Islands,
the Fijian Islands, and the Fijiite people. We stole this water from. And is this like there's a big company strip mining the Himalayan mountains?
Sure.
For their salt.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, tastes exactly the same. But if it's healthy, all right.
That's all you're looking for.
That's all I'm looking for.
So, Steve, you turned 40 a few days ago, and I mentioned, hey, so you're kind of doing new things. You and Annette a couple of years ago, you took a vacation out to Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
I think I remember that was a place you had never been.
Never been there before. That was, we just kind of, we had some travel vouchers that we could use. And we thought, this looks cool. So
now you did another little something new this past weekend.
Yeah.
And you took a little vacation. Sans child.
Yes.
Which, is that the first time? For more than a night?
For more than one night, yeah. So it was a full 48 hours.
Now, we've got way too much to get to. I've got a birthday gift for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
We've got things we need to talk about. But there's things I want to know about how that went. How'd you feel? Because multiple days without your kid for the first time is totally different.
Yeah. High level of anxiety.
Right.
The first 6 hours.
Yeah.
Because Annette's mom stayed here at the house the night before.
Yeah.
And then what we did was when Evelyn would normally go down for a nap, that's when they left to go to Nima and Grandpa's house. And so we put her in the car, and it was strange. I was okay, a little anxious. Annette not so much. It hit her a lot harder, and she just had to say bye and walk inside because and she was a little upset, but not because we were worried or anything, but just because it's the first time that we're not going to see her for 48 hours. So it was strange, but everything went perfectly.
Sure.
Her mom and her sister, who was also at their house for the weekend, they were texting us the whole time, texting us little pictures and videos. And every picture, Evelyn had the biggest smile on her face, and she was having a blast playing with her cousin, and it worked out great. So
you practically had an army.
Yeah,
an army of people who have done it before.
Yeah, couldn't have gone better, and very fortunate that we have family that's so close and so not just willing but excited about
taking care.
Taking her for a day or two.
Because after a day, at least in my experience, I'm pretty much the scorned lover from a 90s romantic comedy looking at pictures on my phone of my son, and I'm like, look at him. Just look at him.
It's weird for me. It was somewhat like that, but also kind of the opposite, because her mom would text her pictures all the time, and whenever they would pop up on her phone, she'd show them to me and be like, oh my God, I miss her so much. And then the phone would go away, and I'd be living the bachelor life again. Like,
what'd you do? Did you crack a book? Were you just watching Comanche YouTube videos?
Watching TV. We went on a couple of hikes.
Recapping your own video. Were you like...
oh, yeah. I am my
own
own biggest critic, by the way. New video dropped last night. Another new video on the way on the 6th of June. Whew. Boy.
That's prepared content coming your way.
That's right. Well,
and only if you're interested in early 1990s Jeep,
late
1980s Jeep Comanches being rebuilt at different stages.
Very niche.
Do you regret the idea? And this is a digression. I apologize.
Of course it is.
Do you regret trying to do the weekly video thing at the start?
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up, right?
Well, my goal initially when I first got the truck was I'm not going to post a video for 6 months, so that way I can take 6 months to build a backlog.
Exactly.
3 days after I bought it.
You couldn't wait.
Got to get this out. And then it was like 5 days later. Got another one. Man, this is simple. This is easy. And then I realized that the work that I was doing takes a long time.
Right. And so not just, the big part is the work you're physically doing on the Jeep. Mm-hmm. The other large part of work you told me was, hey, editing these videos aren't, isn't a cinch, isn't grab my phone and go bippity boppity boop.
Yeah.
And I've got a video on YouTube. You're doing a lot of stuff with music and editing. And
last night, 2 3-minute videos took me 3.5 hours.
Oh, Steve, that's not worth it.
I know.
Just post the raw footage.
But we digress.
So you were living the child bachelor life for a few days.
We went out for dinner.
Yeah.
Which is, that's only the second time. Last week was the first time in 15 months that we were at a restaurant and we weren't inside. We sat outside last week, had a brunch with some friends, and then we went to a restaurant the other night, sat outside on their deck. There was some live music playing. It was great. Oh. It felt, I don't want to say normal, but I feel like we're getting closer to normal.
Right.
So that was good. But yeah, the whole weekend was great. Did we talk about where I was going to be staying?
No, not in advance. I saw you posted some stuff on your social media about where you were at. But yeah, that's why I mentioned, a bit of a new thing for you. Mm-hmm. You stayed in the northern part of Michigan in a tiny house.
In a tiny house, yeah.
Now,
and this was not the tiniest of tiny houses.
Well, are there tiny house snobs?
Probably.
Where it's like,
yeah.
that's fine, but that's not tiny enough to qualify. That would more qualify as a small house instead of a tiny house.
That's not quite micro, but a little more than tiny.
And then they're sipping their Earl Grey tea,
yeah,
obviously.
Of course. Yeah, pinky up. But the mug says like tiny house life on it.
If they wanted to fully embrace the tiny house ideal, they would shave 40 square feet off of this.
So this house I actually measured it.
Okay.
Because
did you use your hands and feet? Because
I used the Measure app on the iPhone.
Oh, gotcha.
It's relatively accurate. I think it was 10 feet wide by 26 feet long or something.
Sure.
So it's 260 square feet, but it's also got a sleeping loft.
Yeah, which most of them do, right? For space-saving reasons.
Yeah, I think a lot of them do.
Yeah. What'd you think? Was it? It looked like nice. Now, was there electric and water and all that stuff?
Yeah, this was on the grid.
Okay.
Meaning it's got electric.
Another check mark by the snobs, I suppose.
It's got electric. It's got running water. They even had a little space heater in there. I loved it.
Really?
Annette loved it.
Now, was this something that you loved because, listen, it was the two of you. It's nice to get away, you and your wife. It doesn't happen often. Is it that reason? Can you imagine yourself even taking a vacation in said tiny house with not quite 2-year-old Evelyn?
100%.
You think you'd be fine? You wouldn't be losing your mind based on, Evelyn running back and forth and just driving you crazy?
Because I think a lot of the idea of a vacation is, the place you stay in is cool, but you're not really going to be there a whole lot.
Right.
So that was, I've always liked the simplicity of them, how everything kind of has like dual purpose or maybe 3 different purposes. I just like the whole aspect of it.
Sure.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
That sounds...
It's like a little cabin. It's like if you were to go camping.
Yeah.
I think that, honestly, you would have, if you guys had walked in there, you would have said, oh, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that would be neat.
Like, for me, it's a lot better than just staying in some hotel.
Right. We've been doing Airbnbs a lot more the last 3 or 4 years.
But this was an Airbnb.
That's not quite to this level, though, where it's a tiny home. We're doing, when I do an Airbnb or a home rental for a vacation, I'm still to that level where I'm always checking I need the entire place to myself. Like, I don't want to stay in some weird hostel thing.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I'm on vacation. It's, June and wherever. I got to make sure they have air conditioning and this and that. So I'm still too snobby that I feel like
look, man, you get a micro split.
What?
You can have your heat. You can have your AC. Or mini split. I'm sorry.
Oh,
sorry. I'm still a newbie.
I mean...
we're going to build a tiny house.
Oh, God. Just
100%.
Just buy a camper like the rest of the world, man.
No.
I mean, this...
No.
For the love of...
Why would I want to build... I don't want to be a camper person.
I mean, it's the same, and you can bring it with you.
Because I'm going to buy a piece of property and then build the tiny house on it, and then we have our vacation home.
Hang on. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just typing out building a tiny house. The dumbest single idea Steve has ever had.
Oh no, I've had much worse ideas than that. Come on, even I'll say no. I buying a jet ski when I lived in an apartment.
No, you kidding me? Look at all the chicks that got you. Look at all the memories.
Yep, it's a great memory of the day that I sold it.
Okay, I mean, we don't have the time for it, but I mean,
right.
Where, are you going to build it yourself, or are you going to buy, don't they sell kits?
Yeah, you can buy kits.
Steve, the one thing I know about you is you don't seem like a kit man. It seems like you'll be out there with the iPhone measuring app and 3 pieces of lumber and setting a frame.
Yeah. It's not completely inaccurate. I mean, why buy a kit when I can customize it?
I don't think there's anything wrong with those kits. In terms there's got to be plenty of options.
They're crazy expensive, though.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you are buying a home.
You're paying for the convenience of having a home delivered basically on the back of a flatbed that you just have to stand up.
I mean, it's not our business, so feel free to skirt around it as much. What type of price range do these usually run if you were to build it yourself? I mean, right now, obviously, it's a little bit different with lumber being just bananas. And, you got to take in the cost of land. Mm-hmm. Now, you and Annette...
So you're talking all in land and everything?
Well, I'm assuming because you and Annette had some time while you're sitting there, and she said, Steve, can you stop searching for garage door openers for a moment? Let's talk about this idea, which is...
That's kind of my go-to whenever we have a weekend away.
Which is, as we've talked about, Steve's idea of romance when him and his wife are away. Again, you can go back to the recap of Steve's honeymoon to hear about the time he... kicked his boxers across the room. There was a snap of a bra that went ping, and Steve jumps into bed with his cell phone, looking on Amazon on the international data package at Ryobi garage door openers and their possibilities.
Do you remember the other thing that I bought while I was on one of my honeymoon drunk purchases?
I forget.
It was a nose hair trimmer.
I don't think we recapped.
I'm pretty sure we talked about that.
Listen, again, folks, if you need a sexy voiceover, just listen to the man we have here.
Yeah.
Have you thought about spending your honeymoon with your new bride? buying crap you'll
Look,
never
I'll
need.
tell you the place you got to go. You got to go to Sandals, Jamaica. It's in Ocho Rios.
Oh my god, that sounds like something that's over on like the southern.
Well, no,
southern
that
coast.
would be what an idiot would think. Of course, it's on the northern coast of Jamaica.
That's right, just a stone's throw from Cuba, if I
Stone's-
remember right.
What did we say? Like you can,
If the wind's just right.
Yeah, if the wind's just right. You can hear the parties from Cuba.
You can hear Havana and the salsa dancing taking place. at
Probably
all
be
of
Cuban music.
the
right?
Cuban salsa dancing. So, no doubt Annette told you, Steve, put the garage door opener website down. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
So, in my mind, you ran over some rough figures. And again, if you're not comfortable talking about that, I totally understand. Are there different price points for these tiny homes that, you guys have talked about, like, hey, this is nice, but we don't need this, so let's keep... If we can get what we want for number X,
Yeah.
we would do it.
Yeah, I don't know, because I think that our plan is to do this in tiers. Like, we've always talked about how we would love to buy a piece of property somewhere north of here. Like within, I think we decided 2 hours is kind of our max. 2 hours north. Because
it's a bit cumbersome to get there.
Yeah, well, with kids too, if we're going to be traveling there for a weekend, 2 hours, totally doable.
Yeah. After that, you get some restless riders.
Yeah.
You've got, it's more of a hassle to get there.
2 hours is a nap still at this point, or that's a movie on an iPad.
Sure.
So the plan has always been, we've talked about this for as long as we've known each other. Oh, it'd be great to have just a little piece of property out in the woods somewhere. I mean, ideal would be near water, whether it's on a stream or a lake or a river. So the plan is to buy property first, I don't know, in the next 5 years maybe.
Sure.
And then long term would be to build a tiny house on it. I mean, I have no idea how much an acre of land in the middle of, nowhere costs.
Boy, I guess I didn't know what I was expecting here, Steve, but I started looking at tiny house kits. And, I see one, I'm not going to say the website, doesn't matter. But it's like $4,300.
That's not bad. Give me some stats.
Let me get the plan. It looks nice. It's got log cabin-ish feel. It is, okay, so never mind. The frame only would be $43.94, and that is 12 by 14.
That's
You can get the upgraded 12 by 18.
That's our shed.
Oof.
12 by 14, and we didn't pay $4,300 for our shed, and it came complete with like siding and a roof and
so you could just
doors,
go buy two of your
doors
sheds,
and everything.
knock out one wall.
Honestly,
make two of them.
A lot of people do that. They buy, if you go to one of the big box stores,
Sure.
and they have out in the parking lot, they have those big sheds set up, and you can a lot of people buy them specifically to convert them into tiny houses because it's construction wise, it's the same thing. It's 2x3 or 2x4 construction. They just insulate them, put in better windows, better doors. What do you got?
This one is nice. 12 by 20.
12 by 20. Okay, 240 something square feet.
Complete package. I don't know what that includes.
Wait, 12 by 20. I got to get the math right before we move on. 240 plus another 10. So 264 square feet, I think.
Would 14 by 20 intrigue you? A little more?
280. That's pretty good.
This one I found has plenty of options in terms of size. Let's get you that 14 by 20, Steve. Now you're all in. Complete package. $7,800.
$7,800. That can't be. That's not a finished interior.
I mean, I don't know exactly what it includes.
Is that just frame? I bet that's just frame.
No, because it has separate.
Spin that computer around. I need to see a picture of this thing.
Yeah,
does it have a fancy name like the Santa Fe?
It does. The Gibraltar.
I believe that's Gibraltar.
You think that's a soft G?
Yeah, Rock of Gibraltar.
I told you I don't listen to the Beatles.
So let me say, oh boy, I like that a lot. I'm just gonna,
go ahead, scroll down on that because
close your eyes and imagine the ideal woodland cottage. Boom! You just pictured our Gibraltar cabin.
This one's got a little.
Who
bench
can
on the front
resist
porch.
the charm
Now, does it say
of the meandering porch and decorative barrel arch above the doorway?
Oh, wow.
And abundant barn sash windows.
Everybody's looking for the barrel arch nowadays. Yeah. What?
Oh, this is nice. I don't mind this. I need the loft though. I need the sleeping loft
because you're wasting a ton of space.
Yeah.
Now, is this something that you could post facto make yourself?
Retrofit with a loft? I don't know.
But if you're spending that money, Steve, get it the way you want it.
Exactly.
You don't want to. No reason to pay twice.
And who doesn't want a garage door as one of your walls?
Oh wow! So you could either park your car or live in there. What a deal!
Now let me tell you our plan. We're gonna go probably 10 by 25, maybe 12 by 20. We're definitely going sleeping loft. I mean, you got to go sleeping loft. So
no question.
That way you can have it opens the whole place up.
Yeah.
You can have some nice exposed beams. Sleeping loft upstairs, probably a queen size mattress. Storage underneath the bed, obviously, because it's a tiny house. You got to conserve.
No question.
Conserve space.
You wouldn't want to be an idiot.
Yeah, we'll do welded stair railings and stair treads.
Thinking treated wood on this, Steve. I'm sorry, I'm just getting you a generic price.
Sure.
Treated wood, or hemlock wood.
Oh, let's go treated.
Treated wood.
Treated. That way I don't have to worry about getting paint on it right away.
Sure.
Did you find one with a sleeve? Or are you still on the Gibraltar?
What do you think? You have some CDX plywood decking, or do you want tongue and groove pine decking, or maybe some treated plywood decking?
Oh boy, CDX is kind of the standard.
Right. It is a little pricey nowadays.
Yeah, it is.
Based on this additional price.
But I bet that tongue and groove is a bit more pricey.
About 3.5 times more.
Okay, we're going CDX. CDX.
Oh, boy. You've got all the options for siding. You got board and batten. You've got clapboard. You've got shiplap. You've got Adirondack, shingles or shakes, log cabin, or novelty pine. Different varying price points.
Yeah, of course.
So the board and batten is cheap. It's free. Yeah. It's no upcharge. Everything else is an upcharge. Let me give you some of those options.
Board and batten. I mean, it's a nice look. I don't like the clapboard. That kind of looks. I don't know. It looks a little too modern for me.
At some point,
shingles or shakes, very nice look. Log cabin, excellent.
Oh, yeah, that is.
I think I'm going to go board and batten.
You're just going to
give me the standard.
Okay, because at some point with these,
can I upgrade later?
I think once you get it there, maybe they put a few board and battens up. Is that how it's referred to? A few of the board and battens up. Boards and batten.
Yeah, you don't pluralize batten.
While you're watching, let's go shingles and shakes. Now you're thinking metal roofing, cedar shingles?
Oh, definitely metal.
You're going metal.
Gotta go metal.
Boy, you really like that noise, huh?
It gives a great ambiance.
Oh, I mean, color. We'll just get you generic color for now, just to get through this.
I love generic color.
We're gonna go clay. It'll cost you $50, but it's a nice look.
Yeah,
looks like everybody's talking about it. Now, standard millwork. I don't know what that means. Or remove millwork. No, removing the millwork means no doors or windows.
No, I'd prefer doors and windows.
Yeah. So they're going to charge you for those being installed with the package. But that's you don't want to have to call. You don't want the shame of calling the local window joint out to your tiny home.
No.
Say, can you install two? And they laugh you out of the building. No, you don't need enhanced porch posts. You don't need a porch railing. We're just trying to get you a generic price here. You don't need the hurricane package. I don't think you're going to be in a hurricane zone.
Nope, not in the hurricane zone.
You don't need the premium trim. Boy, they really try to upcharge you here. We're going to review and purchase.
All right, can I guess? So is this the Gibraltar that you just custom built?
This is the Gibraltar. Yep.
Okay,
I'm going to say the options you've picked: the flooring, the siding, the roofing, and the millwork.
I'm going to say $22,000.
Steve, you're out the door for $8,816.40. That's with the board and batten. That's with your metal roofing at a different color. You're getting the whole kit pre-cut, so you don't have to make and the windows and doors with it, so you don't have to worry about it.
Seems like ordering the kit is the way to go.
In comparison to having to, I mean, I know you like that stuff, and I know to
this
a degree,
is just a big puzzle,
right?
I like puzzles.
Yeah, but I know
you're a puzzle fan.
I love puzzles. Can I actually help you put this thing together?
You want to?
I kind of do. I mean, I don't want to stay there. It's tiny for me.
I mean, look, I was going to offer you guys 3 free weekends a year.
Yeah, what is this, a timeshare? Get out of here. You just have to pay maintenance fees that never go away.
Maintenance fees, very reasonable. Very reasonable.
Anything goes wrong.
But look, so I know that you think I'm crazy.
Yeah.
You always will.
Yeah.
Do you like the idea of a vacation cabin?
No question. One of the dreams I have for long term is to have a cottage or a getaway. Yeah.
Our dreams are nearly the same. The end goal of our dreams is the same. You just want to go look for it and say, yeah, I like that. I like this property. I like that cabin. I'll buy it. So you just think I'm crazy because I want to build it. I just want to be clear that when you say that I'm crazy and I'm stupid and I'm an idiot, it's not because of the end goal. It's just because of the path that we're taking to get there.
Correct. And part of me thinks, end game, having your vacation, your cottage or whatever. Like, I don't even, and the more I look at this, I don't think it has a bathroom.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So you're not going to have plumbing. So then you're talking an outhouse, or you're retrofitting it yourself.
You go compost toilet, or you do
a pile of leaves. Or...
No, it's basically a toilet with like a. It's a lot more techie than it sounds, but it's basically a toilet that instead of having like the standard porcelain bowl, it's got a bowl, but there's like liners in there. So when you flush, it like twists the bag shut.
Oh, yeah, I don't like this.
And everything is contained in the bag.
It's like if you have to go to the bathroom in space.
It's very similar. It's like when you take your dog on a walk and you got to bring doggy bags with you.
Maybe we if you're thinking about an acre, maybe half acre, there's plenty of room for 2 tiny homes.
Hey, all right,
huh? And then I'll just build one like 5 times as big, takes up more of the space, and has a bathroom.
It completely blocks our view.
So you leave it 80 feet set back from a lake, and we just park it in front of you.
You build yours on a trailer and just pull it in.
You wouldn't believe how cheap you can get these. Fully plumbed too. Yeah, drop it right here.
Meanwhile, I'm standing there with an old school saw, just sawing a board.
Yeah, for no noticeable reason other than you think you might need wood.
No, it's to patch the hole in the roof.
That's
obviously.
Right. Yeah, no question. No, listen, I appreciate what I appreciate about this plan of yours, Steve.
Yeah,
and I know that comes as a bit of a surprise.
I know it's because you still started it with calling me an idiot.
Oh, this is really dumb. There it is on the poll, by the way. Is this the single dumbest idea that you've ever had?
So to be clear, the dumb part is me wanting to build it, not wanting one. Because if you're calling me dumb, you're calling you dumb too.
Yeah. It's up in the air on the specifics.
No. Lines must be drawn in the sand.
I don't know if tiny houses are for me because I've never really indulged in one.
Yeah.
Right? And
the one that
for
we
me,
stayed
that feels
in,
like a real retirement kind of vacation thing.
Really?
But even at that point, I would want to be able to, my son, and if he has a spouse or their kids, I'd want them to be able to visit. If I have a cottage or something that, when I retire, that granted didn't cost a lot of money, this mode, I'd want it to be done that other people as a big group could enjoy it.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you want a big group, this is probably not really the way to go. But
sure.
But my whole way of looking at it is, it's going to be as Evelyn and future children grow up. This is going to be our family thing. We're still going to go on vacations. We'll still do let's go to the Grand Canyon or let's go to wherever. But I think is going to be cool for just those weekends where the weather's really nice. We want to get away, hop in the car. 2 hours later, we're there. We can have a great time. Fire every night, sitting outside, playing games inside.
Hear me out.
Okay. All right.
Because I've got an idea to remedy this possible situation.
I'm sure it's going to be an idea that is...
No, because if it's a long-term thing for you, right? And what I was trying to say before I interrupted my own self was that the reason I appreciate this plan is it feels like you've set yourself a timeline that is normalized or realistic, right? It's not like...
Yeah, I'm not saying I want to be in there next summer.
Right, and you didn't come home and be like, hey, I just bought an acre on such and such a river because it was cheap.
Look, because a good friend of mine who is a realtor, he helped me sell my house.
Yeah.
He helped us sell Annette's house.
Near Lisbon participant?
Yes. and he got us into this house.
Yeah.
And he's a great dude. And if anyone needs a realtor recommendation, let me know.
Yeah.
I know that somebody from the podcast somebody who listens to the podcast actually reached out to him.
Oh, nice.
A couple of years ago, and he helped them buy their first house.
Is that we get the bird dog on that, or
I don't know. I'm still waiting for the check.
a couple of years? You said. So I mean, I know some things take a little longer to close, but a couple of years, we should get that gift card back by now.
The other day, I had posted a picture of the tiny house we were staying in, and I said, "Time to talk to my friend, the realtor," and I tagged him in a post, and he messaged me. He's like, "Sounds good,"
Yeah.
and
if I know a realtor, he couldn't wait. He was probably
right.
He probably has alerts set on his phone for certain keywords.
Right. Well, I said to him, I was like, "No, I mean we're serious. We definitely want to buy land.
Yeah.
So if there's every now and then you hear about like those crazy things where like the state is auctioning off
Right now.
100 acres.
I just sent the link to the auction going on right now to a friend last week.
Where is it?
Well, it's parcels everywhere.
Okay.
Around the state. I'll find the link.
Yeah, because
I'll
a lot
send
of
it to you,
times, a lot of times they'll say we're auctioning off this 100 acres.
Yeah.
In 1 acre increments.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, if somebody were to say like, "Hey, we can get you this piece of land for $4,000 today," done.
Right.
I mean,
that's the
not
idea.
Not that I have like $4,000 just
Sure.
sitting in an envelope in the junk drawer.
Right.
But I'll figure out a way to make that work.
And at that point you could finance that little amount if you needed to. And,
yeah, exactly. They'll sell another scooter.
Right. Sell a couple signatures.
Right.
Maybe dump the Comanche.
Yeah. Oh boy, I don't know. The Comanche's going to be a fun truck to drive around up on the property
again, with just you and Annette, because it's a tiny house, not fit for that many people. And the Comanche is really buying a lot of things for 2 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
well, typically we don't really get along with people, so.
Well, yeah, but I mean, your daughter.
Who? Remember, I told you we dropped her off at the grandparents' house.
Oh yeah, we're gonna swing by. What I was saying was, I think your solution, you get a half acre. It doesn't matter. I mean, any parcel of land, you build a tiny guest house.
So a tiny house with an even tinier guest house,
and you don't need to do that. That doesn't need to be right away because you've got so much time.
So if the tiny house is full scale, the guest house is maybe 3/8 scale. Like, do you have to duck to get in the door?
I think you do it 3/4, but you really want to play the power move that yours is a bigger tiny house. And I think there's a lot of psychology in the tiny house game to...
there's tons, yeah.
Yeah, there's no question. We already talked about the tiny house snobbery. Well, there's tiny house psychology, too. Like,
definitely.
You're getting judged, if you have the garage door off the side and not French doors.
Loser.
I like the garage door look, though.
I like the glass garage door.
That's nice. That'd be
like the insulated glass, like you're at a sports bar.
Yeah. Because I think if you build a tiny guest house, that way, 15, 18 years, Evelyn, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, want to hang out for the weekend with mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about them sleeping on the fold-out dining room table, 8 feet away from you.
Fold-out dining room table.
Yeah, just like a trailer or a camper with a dining room table. Like,
yeah, it's also a toilet and a bathtub.
It like flips over and, hey, you could sleep here. Oh, can I? Oh, can I?
Boy, that sounds nice. Real comfy.
So glad I came. But no, it sounds like it was definitely a unique and a pretty relaxing 40th birthday celebration for you then. Very nice.
It was a lot of fun, and stay tuned. Tiny house updates.
Oh, God. This podcast will not be around when that tiny house is done.
You don't think we'll be around another, let's see, realistically,
5 years?
5 years, maybe? I think it's very possible that if we find land that is cheap enough, and you setting a reminder?
No, 5 years from now, that's okay.
Oh, you're doing a poll.
That's just another $1,200 for the podcast.
Oh, by the way,
hosting.
Well, I got a.
Oh, did you get another $5?
I got your check from
Billy
from Billy Stacks. Hey, Billy, if you could update and just address it to Kyle that way.
No, I want these all to go to the Cure for the Cure.
Well, right now they're addressed to me,
sure.
So I have to deposit them and then transfer you $5.
Yeah, Yeah, no, it's fine. Just keep it, and then we'll donate it later. Well, Steve, happy birthday!
Oh, thank you.
The late 30s look good on you.
Can't be said enough. I
mentioned I got you a birthday gift.
Oh, that can't be said enough.
Now,
How unnecessary that is, but I'll take it. Where is it?
This is a digital birthday gift.
A digital birthday gift.
So
it can't be said enough how
so
convenient
a lot of people
that is.
say that's better because you can keep it forever. This, Steve, I loaded it
So it's like it's like an NFT?
I got you a basketball card that's digital.
You bought me
I don't have time
for
today,
NFTs,
but that's on the Kyle's gripe of the week. NFTs.
Are you sure we don't have time for it?
What scumbaggery that is. What type of crap.
Boy, it sounds like you're going down a rabbit hole here.
He's mad. You're about to get an earful. So upset. He's angry.
Hey, you!
I don't like when...
Kyle's gripe of the week. Gripe.
I forgot how much I liked that. I forgot how much I really liked that.
So you used every filter, every effect possible. I mean, the person who did that, our production director.
That's right.
I'm mad.
I got to get you this birthday gift. We got to do the Fast Five.
Okay. All right. So I'm not
next week. I'm putting it on the next week right now because we still have things from this
week.
Wait,
before that, what was that you mentioned?
That your birthday gift?
No, it was in between that.
Oh yeah, it's the Fast Five time.
I don't think that there is time for that.
No, there's plenty of time. Remember how we said we're going to do the last recording every month? Remember how I sent you that text yesterday that said reminder Fast Five, and how you replied with a thumbs up in seconds?
Look.
Like you were just waiting for that reminder.
It was a hectic day yesterday.
You practically told me already all set and done. You know what? We'll worry about it when we cross that bridge.
Sure.
But right now, Steve, I have to give you your birthday gift.
Okay.
It's something digital.
Yeah.
It is in the Google Drive that we share.
I'm seeing it right now.
It should be titled like "Happy Birthday to Steve."
It is, and it looks like
now you've got your audio hooked up, so everybody will be able to hear this. And
I want to download this first, though, or else sometimes it gets a little.
So we'll post this as well on our YouTube and to our social media here after this. But
so basically, what I'm seeing here is I see a bookshelf.
Yeah.
With some stuff on it.
Yeah.
This is the preview image.
Yeah.
And I see a person from about the nose up.
Steve,
is that a person I should recognize?
Well, you'll find out. I went shopping for you
last
week.
Oh, boy.
And I was initially concerned I wouldn't have enough time to get you this birthday gift. That was a worry for naught because it came in very quickly.
Okay. So I opened this video.
Yeah.
I now see the full person.
Yeah.
I have no idea who that person is.
Steve, you will. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, Steve. Bill Allen here, Crew Jones. How's it going? Listen, I heard from Kyle that you're turning 40, so I wanted to wish you a rad birthday. And apparently your dream of winning a fake BMX tournament is silly. And is it true you had to go to the ER for indigestion? I don't know. I don't think you can still race Hell Track. It's just a guess, man. I'm just giving you a hard time, Steve. Go balls out. And if I try to qualify, will you be there? All right, buddy. Happy 40th.
Crew Jones.
That's right. The man himself.
Hell Track and Rad's Bill Allen.
That's right. I don't think he was too busy.
This is, boy, time has not been good to old Bill Allen.
It said when I bought this that it was going to be like 3 to 7 days.
Let me guess. He had it back in an hour?
4 hours. I had that back in my inbox.
Oh, thank you. Can't be said enough. This is amazing. I understand now why he had to identify himself because I would have had no idea. Because you see at the end of the video, it shows, I'm assuming, what his avatar is. I didn't even, Look, I mean, that's not what he looks like.
boy.
No. He looks like a combination. At first, you know who I thought it was?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was one of the Hill Strands
from
Deadliest Catch.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
he kind of looks like one of them.
Yeah, he's aged about as poorly, and the Hillstrands smoke and sail the high seas on a regular basis.
Oh, boy, that was a surprise and something that I will not soon forget. I am shocked.
Yeah, that he was available?
That Crew Jones,
I know, me too.
Bill Allen, was on Cameo. How did you, did you just type in Rad? Or,
yeah,
okay.
He is the only actor possibly living, definitely the only one from Rad.
No, Lori Loughlin. Lori Laughlin's still alive.
Yeah, do they allow Cameo in prison? I sent him the instructions. My friend Steve turns 40 this weekend and is a big fan of Rad. Now, granted, I had a page written for this guy.
Right, but you can only put
you to 250
a certain amount. Yeah,
which is really like telling,
it's basically a tweet.
Well, it's like telling Van Gogh he can only use red.
Right.
It's not fair.
Exactly.
Remind him, please, that as he turns 40 with a child, that the dream of winning a fake BMX tournament is silly. He had to go to the ER for indigestion and still thinks he could race down hell track.
Boy, it would have been much more insulting if he had just read it word for word.
What I almost had him do, I had another version written out, a request, asking him to like have an intervention with you for you to understand that Rad was a movie and not real, and that he didn't actually go down hell track.
Right, him and Bart Taylor weren't really at odds.
Yeah, but then I had a third. I had a bunch of options. The other one was for him to give it to you in character. And say like him and whatever the
I think
whatever
he did.
The
I think that the last line is him.
Is that from the movie?
Yeah, where he says like, "If I
can go down, you
will you be there?" Because I think he says that to Lori Loughlin. Because spoiler alert, it's a bit of a love story too.
That's not even like a memorable line. Like,
no.
will you be there? It's like somebody quoting from a movie. The time an actor says like, "Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good sandwich."
Yeah, like, will you be there? Like, was that on the? Is that? Hang on, let me see. Is that on the? Down hell track, will you be there? It's going to take a miracle.
It doesn't appear so.
This really looks like our first logo, by the way. When I look at it.
Now look, I know it's rude to bring up money, and I could just go look it up.
More than you think. I'll answer your question. It's more than you think. What's your guess? Give me a dollar.
I was going to say $30.
More than you think.
$40.
It's still quite a bit more than you think.
$100.
Not quite that high. I would have that's where I would have ripcorded anything over
$75.
$75 for Crew Jones, Bill Allen.
Man, he doesn't
say happy birthday to you.
I feel like for that there should have been like a guest appearance. Maybe he should have done a trick on his BMX bike.
He could have at least been wearing a helmet. Like maybe
have like a Rad poster in the background.
Something. I mean,
oh boy. Well, boy, I now feel like I am indebted to you for quite a long time.
Oh no, listen, this was out of the good. It's a big birthday for you. You're in your late 30s.
Okay.
Now,
how old are you now?
30 something.
How long do I got until you're 40? I gotta start raising money. I got a tiny house to build.
Sure,
money's tight. Gibraltar doesn't come cheap, as we noticed.
I could have gotten you Larry Wilcox, an actor from Chips, for $50. I'm just going through there.
Wow, ballsy by Bill Allen,
isn't it?
I mean, I guess you figure he knows that 75 is enough to be worth it to him because that took him 37 seconds.
Yeah.
38 seconds.
And again, he was obviously waiting.
He gets probably, I would say, let's see, Cameo probably takes, I think I researched this. I think they take like 25%. So of $75, he got himself $56.
Okay.
For 37 seconds worth of work. Seems worth it to me.
Oh, no, listen, if you have even the faintest...
Should we? You think we should?
What, for $5?
Should we do cameos? 15 $15.
Boy, you think we can get $15, huh?
No, but it's just above the threshold where it makes it worth it.
Now,
because $15, we're getting probably 11 split $5 a piece.
Now, I'm very quickly looking for just names that are cheaper than Bill Allen that you would recognize. Stacey Dash, Clueless and former Fox News correspondent. Matt Doherty, actor from The Mighty Ducks. He played, you'd recognize his face, Steve. I don't know the character he played.
Oh,
but
yeah.
The nerdy guy who was always pushing up his oversized glasses.
Yep.
An actor from The Walking Dead. There's honestly, I mean, Bill Allen going for 75, what I'm telling you, is a little bit too much.
Yeah, I think that...
Gary Valentine, he played Kevin James' brother on The King of Queens. He's there for less than 75.
I think that Crew Jones can probably get 75 because this movie falls into cult classics.
Sure.
So, like, I bet somebody from Rocky Horror Picture Show can probably get $100 bucks or
you're
something.
probably... Now, you had a good idea. Now, if I were to look for somebody from Deadliest Catch, which was another option I didn't think of, but oh boy, one of the guys on there is dead. It's not.
Which one? Who croaked?
Josh Harris, cheaper than Bill Allen.
How much is Josh?
$65.
Does he still look exactly the same?
Yes, he does.
Yeah. How's he doing, by the way?
Hairstyle from 2003.
Yeah.
And
is Jake on there?
I believe Jake made an appearance on the TV show for the first time in like 8 years.
Really?
And then I believe 2 weeks ago in real life was arrested again for another issue.
Okay. What did he do on the show?
He got out of jail, and so his brother had a very brief discussion about bringing him back to the boat. That was short-lived through one episode, and as of May 13, 2021, Jake Harris arrested for DUI.
Nice. Doing well.
Didn't quite learn.
So you gotta, because you figure that the season was probably filmed back in the fall.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Doing well.
Come on, man. Get it together. And boy, I feel like we have just.
Anyway, happy birthday, Steve.
Thank you.
Happy
Can't be
40th
said enough.
to you.
Thank you, Bill Allen.
I was happy to do it. You and Crew now very good buddies.
Oh, I am posting this on every social media.
Yeah, please do. Was happy to do it. Lovely, lovely man, Bill Allen.
Do you think I should post it now with his name beeped out? Like, I'll edit it to beep out his name.
Okay.
And we could run a poll that says,
do you know who this is?
Do you have any idea who this is?
I bet.
Although, yeah, with all the other
quotes and
references,
stuff,
yeah.
We can just
I mean,
post
it. As we talked about that
Yeah.
legendary quote,
Yeah.
follow me there.
Yeah, I'll. If I can do it, will you do it with me? How stupid. God, that movie must suck. I should take it home and watch it.
Yeah, this is our trade-off. You're bringing me a movie next week,
That's
right?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I will.
That didn't last.
Well, that's fantastic, man. I'm happy for you.
Boy, late 30s. I'll tell you what. The air smells different up here.
They hit you hard. Look at Bill.
Boy, yeah. He looks like a combination between a guy who, like you said, sails the open seas and Opie from Opie and Anthony.
He is 58. 58 years old, Bill Allen. I'm just a really quick look to see if he's got any credits recently. And Bill's jumped on the cameo train. Appears he has been out of the acting game for 6 years.
Oh, what was he in most recent? Is there anything else on there that you recognize?
Let me do a quick
other than and the only reason, to be fair, the only reason you know Rad is because of me.
Yes. Born on the 4th of July.
Okay.
He was in there. He played someone in the platoon, so not like a...
Okay, so kind of like a tertiary character.
Yeah, a major actor. He did one episode of Breaking Bad. He played a scientist.
All right.
He was in a movie called Brothers, which was very good, but he was quite literally cop number 3.
Okay.
And that's it. That's
give me a celebrity net worth on Bill Allen.
Ooh.
Celebrity. Do you think we're as big of celebrities as
Bill Allen?
Bill Allen?
I don't want to put that on the poll because if somebody tags him after we upload this video to our social, I don't want him to be sad.
Yeah. I mean, he's still.
I have no problem with Bill Allen. He seems to be a very nice man.
He still is Crew Jones to me. He's a hero to me.
And he's a nice man. It's not like we're trying to insult him and take him down a notch.
No, not at all. Now
this is a very vague range. Let me see if I can narrow it down a little bit.
Can I guess?
That is not true. Yeah, go ahead and guess. This is a wide range though that the internet's giving me.
Let's see. He's an actor. So right away, I assume he lives in Hollywood, and I assume Hollyweird. Yeah. So I assume that he lives in Hollyweird, and you have to be worth like $1 million just to be able to buy a house there. So I'll give him. No, I'm going to say he's worth $700,000.
The estimate on here is his net worth as of 2020 is between $1 and $5 million.
Hey, good job, Bill.
So
that rad cash is still flowing.
After 30-year drought, 52-year-old has a new role in Heroes of Dirt, first cinematic BMX movie to be released. Yeah, so his most recent credit was 2015's Heroes of Dirt.
Huh.
So maybe that
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Well, that seems. Let me check if it's a documentary. Nope,
Yeah.
It's a directed film. Bill, I don't know if he's a main actor in or if he, self-focused BMX dirt rider aspires to become the next stunt champion and is forced to mentor a troubled teen.
Cannot stand when movies come out and they use such bad lingo. A stunt champion. Those words have never been put together when describing BMX or skateboarding or anything. Why can't they just get somebody who's in the sport to like translate it to be cool for them?
No, I'm not speaking to the quality of this movie, Steve, for when you inevitably watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. In the entire cast on the IMDb, 4 people have pictures. 4. One of them being Bill Allen.
Mm-hmm.
His picture must be right out of the 90s. He's got a cowboy hat on. And did he try to go Western for a while? Boy.
Well, I can't thank you enough for the gift.
Bill not looking great.
Fantastic gift.
Tough go for Bill.
Do you think I could send him a message back?
Yeah, for $2.99.
Really?
You can message with Bill. Yeah.
Like forever?
I don't know how that works. I've never done that because the idea of paying to chat with somebody to say hello seems silly to me. But if you wanted to say, "Hey, thanks for the video," and then maybe show a picture of your dumb shoes,
put it on your tab. Message him back.
Sure. Why wouldn't I?
You're already $75 into this.
I've already
deep hole.
I've already gotten out cheap on Bill. Why not just make it a normal size bill? So yeah, that was. I'm happy to do it, Steve. Hopefully you can cherish that for eternity. I can't wait for you to show Annette and have her go, "Who is that?"
She's gonna have no idea.
And why would she?
No idea.
Why would she?
Well, look at that. It's about. I mean, look, we're at the 56.5-minute mark.
Oh, we've still got plenty of time.
Nah, we're gonna lose Robert any minute now.
56.5. Are you sure? I've got an hour 7.
That's a problem.
Hopefully everybody heard this.
Yeah. Okay, so we're off by 10 minutes.
Easy remedy.
Sure.
I didn't even get to read. Next week, we got to talk about Brian and Chrissy. We're gonna have to lead the charge for our listeners to get in touch with them, to have them get back to us.
Unghost us?
Crying out loud. We'll talk about that next week. We have to recap a bunch of polls. Steve, I need to ask you if you met with a realtor next week regarding your tiny house.
Just gonna have to wait for that, folks. Did Steve have a meeting?
Did Steve
the big tease?
Did Steve chat with an acquaintance about buying something? Yeah. That's in the A bit.
After that, chicken. Yes or no?
Baked or grilled? We'll get into it next week on the Steve and Kyle
we better
podcast.
cut this off because I'm about to get into it right now. All right. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Steve and Kyle. We will talk to you next week. Thank you, Bill Allen, for joining us on the program. You think we could get him on?
I think we're going to try to get Bill, right? We got to get Bill now.
Hey, Bill. Crew Jones, of course. We know you're worth $1 to $5 million. How much you dropping?
That's right. Our guest lineup currently is maybe Melissa Vaughn and maybe Bill Allen.
Talk to you next week. See ya.